Yo, what is up, guys? It is your boy, Bro Gets Rich, and today I'm going to share with you my top 3 books to change your mindset and start building wealth. So these are my 3 books that I recommend to people. They are the books that I would recommend, and I would recommend reading them in this order to myself when I was younger. Luckily, I did read them all pretty early on, but in the beginning, when you're just starting out, really you just need to change your mindset more than anything and kind of understand a bigger picture and get motivated. And these 3 books, I think, do a really good job of changing your mindset and then also kind of building up some sort of an actionable plan. So let's get into the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and this is not financial advice. All right, here we go. So number 1, you've probably heard of this book before, not trying to beat a dead horse, but it is Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And this is the number 1 book that I give to people, and if they can't read this book, I cannot tell you how many times I've given somebody this book and expecting to hear back from them, and it's just crickets. Never hear back from them ever. I don't know if they read it, didn't read it. This book really, for sure, for me, changed my life, like literally opened up the Pandora's box. And so what did I learn from this book? To me, taught me to focus on building assets and minimizing liabilities. Early on, it taught me that you should work to learn skills that will lead you to higher future earnings potential. And it teaches you how to educate yourself in personal finance and business. And most importantly, it teaches you that the rich don't work for money. Also, if I remember correctly, this is one of the first times in this book I think I heard the term paying yourself first, which to me, signified when I get paid every week or 2 weeks or whatever it is, to invest in something myself before I, buy some stupid thing from somebody else or, take on credit card debt or anything like that. So like I said, this is a huge mindset changing book. Even if you've read it, and I've read it a few times, always worth a look. And for me, if this one does not change your mindset, I don't really know what will. So read this book, please read this book. But now let's get into book number 2 in order, and that for me is Set for Life by Scott Trench. And the title of this, it says real estate investor and vice president of Bigger Pockets. I think he might have at one point been the CEO of Bigger Pockets. I don't really follow Bigger Pockets a whole lot anymore, so I'm not sure if he still is. But yeah, Set for Life, Dominate Life, Money, and the American Dream. And so this one kind of, after you get your initial mindset changed about, your assets, your liabilities, your life as a balance sheet, hopefully you get motivated. This actually kind of gives you some basic investing principles that anybody can follow, just like very straightforward stuff, and gives you some sort of an action plan. Because one of the things, like the people who I have given Rich Dad Poor Dad to, after they read it, they like love it, and it's definitely like changed their thought process, but they don't really know what to do next. And it's good for you if you are a low negative net worth individual. The book introduces basic real estate strategies such as renting out rooms or house hacking, helps build a concept of a financial runway, and basic stock market investing. So I remember one of the biggest things this book talks about, is building on a financial runway, like getting your net worth up to 100K, because that will really open a lot of doors for you, and that is a really good first goal. And yes, this book, like obviously real estate is a little tricky right now with interest rates and prices being super high. And then he basically just talks about just very basic like Roth IRA, S&P 500, Vanguard style. But yeah, when you're just building up your runway, just basic S&P 500 index investing is a good way to just kind of get some return, build up a runway, because like what you don't want to do is when you don't know a lot about investing, or when you would like in the initial phase of your career, or you haven't started a business yet or anything like that, you don't want to just gamble your money away. You really want to make sure you don't fuck things up in the beginning, really, honestly. So, and then book number 3, we are going back to Robert Kiyosaki, and it is his book Cash Flow Quadrant, which I don't know if it is like necessarily in his mind a direct sequel to Rich Dad Poor Dad, but it seems like it's kind of a little bit of a sequel. It just kind of goes into the thought process of Rich Dad Poor Dad a little bit more. So the gist of the book is there are 4 quadrants / definitions of how people make money. The 4 quadrants are employee, self-employed, business owner, and investor. And the basic premise of the book is you want to move from employee / self-employed to business owner / investor as soon as possible if you want to build real wealth and time value in your life. He also talks about the 5 different types of investors. One big point away from that is savers are losers, especially with today's modern inflationary environment and just the rate of the world. Like you'll never unless you're a super high income person, which most of us are not, you will never get where you need to be or want to be just purely by saving money. And this also can be just it really opens you up to the differences between being employee, self-employed, business owner, investor, and even if you're just like starting out, you're young, or even if you're like a little older, like for me personally, I kind of fall into the self-employed category, but I still am also an investor, right? Because I do invest money, I do invest in real estate, I do invest in Bitcoin, I invest in a lot of different things. So you can be an employee, like if you're a young person, you just got out of college, whatever, you're just starting your career, like you can be an employee and you can also be an investor, and you can also aspire to be a business owner. Like you don't have to put too much pressure on yourself, you know what I mean? But it definitely kind of opens your mind on where you need to go in the long term. And for me, in the long term, like personally, just to share with you guys, like I do look to go from the self-employed, I will own a business someday, and I will also ideally still be an investor someday as well. So let me know down in the comments if there is an investing or personal finance book that changed your life that you think I should read. Also, I will look to, kind of do some more book reviews. I do read a lot of personal finance books, kind of give you some insight into the ones that I think are good. Like I said, none of this is financial advice. Hopefully you read some books and change your life. My name is Bro Gets Rich. Peace out. Like and subscribe.